Hey, what's up, guys? This is Feldon Richards, owner of the Phone Flipping Mastery YouTube, also the owner of the Sales and Reseller Mastermind group on Facebook. So, why am I talking to you guys today? Well, I decided to spice up the channel a little bit. I would start to go a little bit through my day to day, how I deal with different things on eBay, kind of put out some content that I feel that would have helped me out in the beginning. And I want to make sure that it benefits you guys. So I'm going to go start to finish how to sell on eBay and deal with eBay buyer scams. Because unfortunately, sometimes when you do sell on eBay, you will get buyers that try to scam you. And I actually dealt with two issues this week back to back. I'm going to tell you guys how I dealt with them. This information I've learned is very, very hard to come across, and it's very challenging to do. And it's very rare that you'll even find yourself in this situation. And if you do, it could be really challenging to resolve. So I'm going to help you guys figure that out. So the first one, I sold an iPhone X 64 gig unlocked on eBay. It sold for $613.99. And the buyer got the package. He decided to return it because he said that he found it at a better price. For those of you that don't sell on eBay or who are new to eBay, eBay will let a buyer return an item for any reason in the world. They could say, I sneezed on it the wrong way and I didn't like the way my sneeze landed on it, so I'm going to return the phone. And in a later video, I explain to you guys how to deal with reducing your return rates. But for the purposes of this video right here, I just want to focus solely on avoiding eBay buyer scams. And well, not exactly how to avoid them, but yeah, how to avoid them and how to make sure that if they happen, how to prepare yourself to make sure that you're protected, because eBay does have seller protection. A lot of people will tell you that it's non-existent, but it's out there, and they hook you up when you do your due diligence and you do things the right way, because at the end of the day, they're a business and they got to make sure that they're covered for anything that they do. So jumping right into it, guy returned the phone, or he said he did. I waited a few days to get it. USPS and eBay sent me an email saying that the item's been delivered, send a refund to your buyer. I go, okay. I contacted my wife and I said, hey, did we get an item today? Did we get a package today? And she said, no, it's just a whole bunch of junk mail. And I said, that's odd, because I got an email from eBay saying that I got the phone back today. So we go through that whole mess, and 2 days go by and I still don't have the phone. So I call eBay and I go, hey, eBay, yeah, I didn't get the phone. And they told me, well, it's marked as delivered, so we got to send them a refund and you got to take the loss. I freaked out. I'm like, $613? That's a lot of money. Regardless of how much sales you do on eBay, that's a lot of money. $613 is a lot of money to just take an L on. So I wasn't trying to take the loss. So anyway, what I ended up doing is calling USPS, the corporate headquarters. I spoke to them and I learned that the package was delivered to a different address other than mine. Fine. Common sense. I called eBay back. I said, hey, eBay, USPS told me that the package was sent to another location. eBay goes, well, sir, I'm sorry for letting you know this, but, and, you speak to representatives and sometimes you feel like they don't hear you, but they're just doing their job. So anyway, she apologized for letting me know that there wasn't much that she could do. And I asked to speak to a supervisor, and she told me that there was nothing they could do. But I wasn't trying to give up there, right? Because I know that that's nonsense. I know that they can do something. I didn't get the item. I legit didn't get the item. I pled my case. I framed it for what I thought was a position of power. I told them, listen, I've been selling on eBay. I do 6 figures on your platform, blah, 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 all this, threatened to leave. It didn't work. So I'm like, what can I do? So I called USPS back again, and I told them what happened. I told them how I went to eBay. eBay wanted proof. eBay wanted proof that I didn't get the package. and they wanted it from USPS. They wanted me to provide them some type of proof. So I told USPS that. I spoke to like 5 different representatives until eventually I got this guy named Chris. Chris, I doubt you'll ever see this video, but if you're out there, man, I appreciate you. You helped me out a lot, and you're going to help me help a lot of people because now we know that this can be done. Anyway, Chris stayed on the phone with me for about 45 minutes. I highly doubt you guys will ever get somebody to do that for you, which is why I'm going to skip through that part. I'll summarize it and then kind of tell you what the end result is. So we stayed on the phone for 45 minutes, more or less. eBay rep kept coming back and forth, putting me and Chris on hold, talking to Chris like he was the customer. It was just awful. eBay rep noted the whole conversation. Chris got off the phone, gave her the address. It was awesome. Like, they were communicating. Chris let her know, hey, it went to the wrong address. Finally, eBay lets me know, hey, we no longer take the IC3 form for internet crimes. And IC3 is a form that you can use on PayPal. If somebody like scams you and they send you a package, like an empty package, you can report them to internet crimes. But again, not the purpose of the video. I'm going to get back on focus. So eBay rep wanted some proof. Even though I had a USPS guy on the phone, eBay still wanted some type of written documentation. And I'm like, where can I get that? So Chris, before he left, God bless Chris, he told me to go into a USPS, speak to a supervisor, and the supervisor will be able to provide me with the document that I need. So I thought that was pretty cool, right? But when I got there, well, when my wife got there, because I was at work, they were saying that we needed to speak to a supervisor. Supervisor wasn't there. So I'm sorry, backtrack. The guys in the post office weren't telling us to speak to a supervisor. They just said no. They said, no, we can't give you the letter that you need. And I'm like, that's BS. My wife called me while I was at work. Like, yo, that's BS. I know that's BS because we spoke to corporate. And then the regular associate is like, well, we can't do it. We did our part. All we can do is send them back to retrieve the package. We're going to send USPS back to retrieve the package. We're going to send our carrier back. We did our job. We're going to go to the address, the wrong address, and we're going to see if we can retrieve the item. And I'm like, that's unacceptable. But I was at work. I couldn't really put up a fight, and I didn't want to put my wife through that hell, so I told her to leave. On her way out the door, guess who walks in? Supervisor. So moral of the story, ask for the supervisor from the beginning because this guy was definitely able to help us. Spoke to the supervisor. Supervisor said he told us that he's not really able to give us a letter per se, but he's able to give us a document showing the address and all of the shipping information for where the package went to. I'm going to give you guys the name of the form that I got from USPS. It's called the Product Tracking and Reporting Form. So in short, this is a document that's going to have the address. I'm reading off of it right now, so don't mind me. It's going to have the destination and the origin. So it's going to have the eBay. And by the way, just so you guys understand, eBay, the way that eBay tracks deliveries is using the zip code, the city, and the state. That's how they mark their destinations. So let's say my buyer has an address of 500 West 55th Street, New York, 10035. I'm just making up an address. And I send the package to 300 West 125th Street, New York, 10035. eBay will actually mark that item as delivered, even though it didn't get to the right person, because it was sent to the proper zip code, city, and state. It's crazy to me that in 2019, they actually track it like this. They don't just track it with the full address, because you could imagine how many scams could potentially occur because of this. But good enough, I do hundreds of transactions on eBay, both shipping and receiving package. And this is the first time in over a year I've been doing this that this has ever happened to me. So there's some pretty decent people buying and selling on eBay. Some of you watching this video might not agree because I've heard of some experiences, but we're not going to get into that. But for the most part, some pretty decent people on eBay. Anyway, so the product tracking, the product tracking and reporting sheet that I got from USPS, it's a 5-page document, and the information it contains, it shows your tracking number, it shows the class and service of the mail, it shows the class of mail code in the description, it shows the destination address, which in my case was not my address, and it shows the zip code that it was sent from. For whatever reason, it doesn't show the state and the city under the origin part, but where the tracking number is, it shows the sender's zip code, city, and state. Just wanted to point that out. It shows the expected delivery date. It shows the time that the delivery is expected. It shows how much the sender paid for the postage, and it shows the weight of the package that they sent. And this threw up a huge red flag for me, and this is how I know this guy tried to scam me. He probably didn't actually find a cheaper item, because the package he sent me back was sent in a flat rate envelope, and it weighed 2 ounces. Let me just tell you guys something right now. iPhone X does not weigh 2 ounces. I know it does not weigh 2 ounces because I ship them all the time. They don't weigh 2 ounces. You can't send a 2-ounce iPhone X. It's just, unless you're just sending like a motherboard or something. So the guy clearly was trying to scam. So I got this from the USPS supervisor. eBay sent me some form in my email to upload the document that they were requesting, because they did request the document from me to prove it, because that's all eBay wants is proof. And I uploaded this to them, and thankfully I'm going through a process right now. I gotta wait 7 to 10 days, but they said it's looking like it's in my favor. The buyer never really responded to anything else after I appealed the case that was closed out. By the way, I've been going through this for like a couple weeks in order to even learn this information. Like, I appealed this case several times. I escalated it up. It was crazy, everything that I had to go through to learn this. And for those of you that know it already, I mean, if you do, great. But this is new for me, and it's pretty big for some of the guys that I know that buy items for resale, or even those that just sell stuff on eBay in general. Just knowing stuff like this can be really helpful. And so that's why I created the video. I definitely wanted to share my experience with people. And I would love for you guys to comment below with some unique experiences that you've encountered on eBay and how you dealt with it. And before I end, I just wanted to go over real quick another instance that I dealt with for a different item. And I just thought that it was really odd how eBay dealt with it. So recently, I got 2 returns. One of them was for an iPhone 6 Plus. I sent it and it worked. Excuse me, I need some water. Whew. Spilled it on my shirt. I have a hole in my lip. So anyway, I sold an iPhone 6 Plus, received back a non-working 6 Plus. It wouldn't even go past the home screen. And the buyer goes, "Oh, well, I had to hard reset it 8 times and all this and that." I said, "That's cool, but I tested it before I sent it and it worked." And they responded back, "Well, I used it for 5 hours and then it started acting up." And in my mind, I'm like, what did you do in those 5 hours that messed up my phone? Because I test all my items out for days before I ship them out, which is different from other people. Some people will just do like a one-time test, but I know my stuff works. When I sell stuff in used condition, not for parts, I know my stuff works. So anyway, I got the item back, and of course I appealed the case because I said it's not in the same condition that I sent it in. So I offered a partial refund, and eBay approved my case, told me that I wouldn't have to worry about anything. 10 minutes later, I get an email saying that the buyer opened up a case against me and that it was closed in their favor and the money is going to be deducted from my PayPal. So I called eBay. Excuse me. And I asked eBay, what the heck? Like, you guys told me it was ruled in my favor. And they said, well, the buyer called in and they won. And I said, no, it doesn't. That's not fair. They didn't send me an item back in the same condition, so I have to appeal this. And because the buyer admitted through text to to resetting the item so many times, eBay actually decided to overturn that appeal. They let the buyer keep his money, and they also let me keep my money as a courtesy. I thought that was pretty cool. That just know, guys, that seller protection does exist. You are sometimes just gonna have to fight your battles and choose them wisely. You have to know and understand eBay's system. They genuinely don't want to screw us over. It's just sometimes really, really tough because of the way that the platform works. Like, they can't just give you back money because you had an argument or an issue with the buyer. Like, you really have to build a strong case. That's why it's important to communicate with the people that you sell to. And then my last case, I actually did get screwed out of this one, and I'll tell you guys why. And this is where it gets a little weird for me with eBay, and I find it odd that they operate like this. So I told you guys about the item returned not as described case, or not in the same condition. So this time the guy sent was supposed to return an iPhone 7 to me, and he actually sent me a box that contained a phone case for like a Samsung phone. I reported this to eBay, and eBay told me I actually must go to the police station and file a police report, and I only have 30 days to do this. It was only $100 item, so I'm gonna let it go because I work full time and I really don't have time to go to the police station to sit in there for hours and just deal with the nonsense and then send it back to eBay. But just letting you guys know, if you guys do get an item back and it's not the same item that you sent, eBay can go one of two routes. They can give you your money back, or they can request that you go to the police station and get a police report, which I've never heard of before. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys an experience of what it's like when you're selling a lot of items on eBay. I sell hundreds of items a month on eBay, and just to let you guys know what to look out for, the types of scams that people try to run, because these are, I think I went over like 2 or 3 different scams just now and how you can avoid them. And always just accurately describe your items, take lots of pictures, track your numbers for whatever item you're selling. If you could get the serial number, if it's a phone, the ESN, the IMEI. Keep all your ducks in a row. Don't just sell an item and then forget about it, because if you do, you're not going to be able to put up a strong case if people try to give you problems. So I think that's all for today. I went on a lot longer than I expected. I didn't really expect to go on so long about this topic, but it was fun. I like sharing these things with you guys, and I look forward to showing you some more content. Definitely drop a like, subscribe if you enjoy the video, share it with your friends who are looking to sell on eBay. Save it, share it on your Facebook, put it in a group, do whatever you got to do. Get this out there. I really want to help you guys, and I do plan to put out more content that's relevant to help you grow your business. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said before, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace and love.